Hello, my name is Adriana Carrillo and I'm a candidate for a Master's in Education degree in Instructional Technology with a Personalized Learning endorsement at Kennesaw State University. I am currently a second grade teacher as well as the current grade level chair at River Eves Elementary in Roswell, Georgia. I am entering my 12th year of teaching and 4th year at River Eves. I graduated from Georgia State University in 2010 with a degree in early childhood education and an ESOL endorsement. I have had an eventful 11 years of teaching, which has included teaching English in China and kindergarten in the United Arab Emirates. I was recently named the 2020-2021 Teacher of the Year, which has been a great milestone in my teaching career, which I honestly have to give credit for being a part of the KSU iTech Masters program. To showcase my learning, I have developed a capstone project called Using ePortfolios with a focus on STEM and PBL integration in the classroom. Please join me as we take a journey through the development and implementation of a chosen ePortfolio program, which transformed one of the craziest years in education. Yang and Baldwin explain it best by stating technology can be used to increase student engagement and motivation, expand experiences, and accelerate learning by acting as a supplementary learning resource both in and outside the classroom. Taking this mindset into consideration, I had to find a way to engage students in their learning and showcase their work. Let's begin by setting the background. I have worked at River Eves Elementary, a state-certified STEM school in Fulton County for 4 years. River Eves Elementary is located in Roswell, Georgia. While Reese is a traditional public school, the school practices STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math education. And in 2015, Reese was the first Fulton County public school to earn Georgia Department of Education's Distinguished STEM certification. Next year, the school will undergo recertification, and the administrative team has developed a strategic plan on new initiatives to implement into the K-5 classrooms. Our school motto is, "We are engineered for success." So how does the integration of an e-portfolio platform lend itself to a successful step for our Eagles? Based on our needs as a school and focus on motivation of our students, I identified the problem and need as integrating a user-friendly digital portfolio platform to contribute to reformat the way STEM education is delivered across K-5 classrooms and focus on integrating best instructional practices from a project-based learning approach. I believe with the increase of devices, there are more capabilities to using technology than districted mandated programs, and so the need to look into how we can use a program in a more meaningful and engaging way to promote our efforts towards showcasing the engineering design model began. Research shows that ePortfolios provide a learner-centered approach in which authentic assessment can be taken throughout the learning process. Once the problem and need were identified, I then developed a solution for the plan for this project. I developed 3 steps to the plan. Step 1, I had to plan to inform and create discussion on integrating ePortfolios with a focus on our current STEM units and how we could benefit from showcasing the EDM process to an authentic audience, as well as using them for summative and formative assessments. Through Shai, Liu, and Liu's research, they found that an ePortfolio are categorized in 3 different ways: assessment, marketing of one's achievements, and a reflective piece. Step 2 was to collaborate and find ways that ePortfolios could benefit our ELL and special education population with our ESOL teachers and special education teachers, and develop 4 strategies that all teachers can utilize with the implementation of the ePortfolio platform. Clancy and Gardner discuss how ePortfolios offer multiple opportunities for students with disabilities to engage meaningfully with their own work, as well as self-reflect and assess. Step 3 was to observe how an ePortfolio platform is being used effectively in a gifted classroom that is already utilizing the platform effectively, and develop next steps to finding an appropriate program that fits the needs in a second grade classroom. By developing a partnership with Vanguard members, gifted teachers, ESOL, and special education teachers, we can collaborate and develop goals to determine how an ePortfolio can elevate the learning. The evaluation tools range from face-to-face interviews with teachers, electronic teacher surveys created on Google Forms, teacher observations, focus groups with our tag teachers, and a Weebly page on different e-portfolio resources and ideas to encourage teacher collaboration. These evaluative measures will be used to determine the effectiveness of the objectives and activities in my project. Through the first project activity, I plan to create a needs assessment for my peers and providing references for multiple e-portfolio programs. The second activity focused on determining my peers' understanding of using technology to differentiate for the needs of ELL and special education students and how e-portfolio portfolios fit into their needs. Through the final project activities, I plan to collaborate with our tag teachers and focus groups to choose an appropriate e-portfolio program that best fits our students' needs and collaborate and share ideas through our grade level Weebly page. The objective was to have teachers utilizing an e-portfolio program with their students that promotes self-reflection, assessment, creativity, differentiation, and communication with an authentic audience. Work began in the spring of 2020 after the initial Capstone proposal was determined. No one expected the changes that came from the COVID-19 pandemic. In the spring of 2020, schools went into a virtual setting in March. Teachers had to learn how to adjust their face-to-face teaching into a virtual setting, so spring was the time to learn. Teachers were experimenting with multiple platforms and learning about what kid-friendly platforms they could use to deliver content and engage with students. I developed a needs-based assessment on Google Forms that would determine what teachers knew about e-portfolios, their wishes and goals for using e-portfolios, and focus of the professional development. In the summer of 2020, work began to plan for the upcoming virtual start of the school year in Fulton County. And work began by analyzing the results with Vanguard members from the end-of-year survey and the shift to virtual school. Teachers had experience with Flipgrid and Seesaw in the spring, and then narrowed down to Seesaw platform in the summer to begin the work for the next school year. Throughout the summer, I began work individually on the Seesaw platform through self-paced trainings to become a Seesaw pioneer. Through these self-paced PDs, I was able to learn more about the basics, using assessment tools, developing extensions within the platform, and other elements to Seesaw that I would be able to take into the year and work with this Capstone project. At the end of the summer, I then collaborated with a Vanguard mentor and grade level chairs to set a timeline and realistic goals that grade levels would be able to meet throughout the year, provided the continuous self-paced and whole group professional development, grade level planning time, and one-on-one coaching sessions. In August 2020, pre-planning sessions to learn basics of Seesaw and develop specific grade level goals, tutorial videos for parents and students were all developed. Then throughout the fall of 2020, and once the new virtual school year began, foundations of the Seesaw platform were established. Co-planning sessions on Microsoft Teams continued. Needs assessments on student individual needs and establishing how Seesaw tools could help to differentiate. Once teachers were comfortable with the basics of Seesaw, I began collaborations with K-2 teachers, Vanguard members, ESOL teachers, and special education teachers to establish the list of 4 strategies. The 4 strategies included the use of audio recordings for students answering questions, the use of video recordings by students to explain papers, projects, and other assignments, the use of audio recordings from teachers for directions to assignments or questions within activities, and the use of video and audio recordings from teachers for authentic feedback to demonstrate visually to students. To model best practices, I reached out to teachers who indicated that they were comfortable gaining confidence and creating activities through Seesaw to open up their virtual doors and to other teachers in the building to create a River Eves Seesaw Tidbit document. They shared their strategies that they were using with all their students, especially on ways they differentiated with special education and English language learners. Between the initial survey and feedback from these documentations, I was able to tailor the River Eves Seesaw Tidbit document and then upload it to the Microsoft Teams file. Focus groups were then established with tag teachers. These focus groups were centered around how Seesaw can help promote self-reflection, be used as an assessment tool, promote creativity, and communication with an authentic audience. By establishing the focus groups, teachers were gaining confidence in implementing by implementing other district-approved applications into their activities and assignments that engaged and extended the learning for students through Seesaw. This then established the beginning stages of planning for STEM and PBL integration utilizing the Seesaw platform. Teachers were able to implement the engineering design model into their Seesaw activities and develop choice boards and templates that students used to showcase their work throughout the year. Throughout the year, a lot of tidbits, lesson plan samples, activity ideas, and video recordings were collected into a Microsoft Teams file. From the feedback following co-planning sessions, a central and easy-to-navigate location was established utilizing Microsoft Sway. Microsoft Sway, instead of Weebly, as originally discussed in the proposal, gave easy access to all K-2 teachers as well as support teachers to add their own tidbits, ideas, and videos. A similar questionnaire that was provided at the end of the 2019 and 2020 school year was provided at the end of 2021 to garner feedback of the Seesaw platform and what adjustments to the tidbits or Sway could be made to the platform for next year. Through the completion of this study, teachers noticed a variety of results including increased confidence levels incorporating technology into the classroom to support 21st century learning, and not only for a virtual setting, but also embed the engineering design model into all content areas in a face-to-face setting as well. Teachers expressed the need to fully understand the basics but other elements that the Seesaw platform could provide during a virtual setting, but then when phased back to face-to-face instruction, how to meet the needs of all learners and provide ample feedback for students who were still at home. The most significant barrier that I encountered were the constant schedule and safety changes that occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic, which led to a hesitation in teacher confidence and knowledge of how to embrace the use of technology for more than just basic, low-level skills. With the pandemic came a constant flow of changes from the beginning the school year virtually to multiple phases, and eventually ending with a simultaneous teaching approach with students in person and some students who continued virtually. As I look back on this experience, I must reflect on the key aspects that influenced the overall experience. The first note is flexibility on the facilitator's part is key, especially when you experience elements that are out of your control. The fact that a global pandemic began in the development stages of this capstone proposal changed everything that we knew about education for the rest of the 2020-21 school year, and was one of the largest hurdles that a facilitator had encountered. Another key element that I took from this was establishing a shared vision of implementation with key leaders. Collaboration is a major key in developing an effective implementation plan for the use of technology ahead of time to support goals and initiatives of the endeavor to best meet students' needs. It is vital that we continuously collaborated to invest time in what was needed most from the ePortfolio platform at the time. One of the most important elements as a facilitator, coach, and mentor is to build and develop lasting relationships. Utilizing the ideas of Jim Knight's The Impact Cycle, I was able to support teachers during a crazy year, meet individual goals, listen to feedback, and develop focus groups and build on a collaborative efforts to implement Seesaw successfully. By constantly utilizing feedback, I was able to cater to what teachers needed in the moment and what elements would help them to be successful for long-lasting results and implementation of an ePortfolio platform. The last reflection point that I took away was building a cohesive resource for the future. By collaborating with team members, individuals, and focus groups, teachers became more confident and began taking ownership of their own professional learning when it came to Seesaw. It is important to plan, but you must also leave room for timetables to shift around as well as the focus of your intention with a digital program such as the one that occurred in my project. Facilitators must adapt to the changes that will occur and be able to collaborate with teachers to find the most effective ways to utilize a platform that best fits the needs of the current environment. I also think that teachers need to take into consideration the choice and voice of all stakeholders. I also complete continuous research and find a platform that teachers will be invested in, but also utilize the research as to not bombard teachers with multiple digital resources that will overwhelm them. Give them the opportunity to explore your 2 or 3 picks and discover how they will be utilized in the classroom. If teachers are invested, they will begin to create and share their experiences with others. Adaptations, flexibility, and investment in a shared vision and building relationships with your team will guide you towards successful integration of technology tools within the classroom. Here are the copyright acknowledgments, as well as the credits to the presentation slides templates that I used.